Thunder Bay's Dan Plexman came very close to losing his life 15 years ago when he came into contact with live wires while working at a Hydro One station in Red Lake, leaving him with 3rd to 6th degree burns on his body. But today, Plexman is a world champion arm wrestler and motivational speaker, sharing his story and becoming an advocate for workplace safety. Joe Sadowski has his story.
When the flames hit, I immediately jumped out of the machine, but I was still attached by my safety harness, so I hung there swinging in midair, burning alive. I was on fire for a few minutes while I hung there by my safety harness, and the safety harness burned completely through, and then released me to fall 17 feet to the ground.
When Plexman was taken to the hospital, he was induced in a coma for 11 days, and the doctors told his family he might have to have both of his arms amputated and that he might have a 13% chance of survival. Fast forward to today, where Plexman defied the odds and made a miraculous recovery. He's now a motivational speaker talking about what happened to him in 2008 and the importance of workplace safety.
I've forged myself a little business here, speaking about my injury and my experience overcoming the challenges. And there's a lot of things I personally could have done that day to prevent this accident. And I want people to realize that they can learn the things that I've learned without having to go through what I've gone through.
Along with his dedication to public speaking, Plexman decided to take up the sport of arm wrestling with the local club here in Thunder Bay, with the goal of having some fun to do during the process of physiotherapy. After getting a taste of the sport, Plexman immediately fell in love with the camaraderie and the competition, and that hobby turned into a lifelong passion, where he found himself competing at the World Championships of Arm Wrestling last year in France, where he brought home 2 gold medals.
From like moment one walking in the club, I felt accepted, I felt camaraderie, and I was hooked. I love the sport. It's so much fun. And honestly, from the very first practice, I knew this is a sport for me.
Plexman heads to the World Championships this weekend in Malaysia to defend both of his titles in a tournament that features hundreds of arm wrestlers from around the world. Joe Sadowski, TBT News.